Okay. Um, Hi everyone. I don't know who's here. That's a last minute kind of session. Test, test. I'm making sure you can hear me. So if anyone's in the chat, let me. Okay. I've been told you can hear me now. So hi everyone. The last time I went live on YouTube and LinkedIn was probably over a year ago uh, of being live. But my podcast will be back and most probably it will be live. So, anyway, that's a last minute Saturday session. I just thought I'd just go live online and talk about how to create your own GPT. So, it's raining here in Milan on Saturday, and literally an hour ago, I decided to do this session. It's really off the cuff, but I've done this several times. Uh, Interactive though with people. And I just want to share my process of creating content on LinkedIn. And I've had lots of questions coming on, do you use a GPT to write your posts and so on? And I know that I also can't or can no longer deal with AI generated, commenting and some of the posts on LinkedIn and beyond. But it's not about that. It's just another tool that, like ChatGPT specifically, in this instance, is another tool that we can use to help us in creating our own content. And I've been playing around and experimenting with my own GPTs, not only for LinkedIn content creation, but for multiple things. So let's get started because I want to have this session quite short. If anyone's online, do let me know in the chat. And yeah, let's get started. I'll give a very brief overview of GPTs and then we're gonna dive straight away. Um, so the screen you can see right now is the GPT marketplace. So you have GPTs uh, almost like for almost everything. It's hard to explore them all. But let me get this function on my here. Okay, so you can just see my, which is fine. So this is the GPT store, and you can just use it to explore, the top picks, but some GPTs for writing, and you can see more here. Some others for research, some others coming or created by specific companies um, like ChatGPT, OpenAI itself, but many others like Whimsical if you use flowcharts and diagrams and so on. So there are many. I'm not going to go through. I mean, I haven't explored most of them. I use my own more than those on the store, but anyone can create their own GPT and share it with the community, everyone, or specific people who have the link. So yeah, that's for the introduction. So I just want to share my process on creating content. So I don't go straight to ChatGPT and just say, "Hey, create a post for me based on this, or that." I have my content pillars, which are primarily innovation, like corporate innovation, entrepreneurship, creative thinking, um, and AI. So this is what I talk about mostly posts. And what I do, I create my visuals first. So I decide what I want to write about or visualize. And after that, I go to ChatGPT. And I'm going to show you, if you haven't seen my content before, it's always a work in progress, by the way. So I'm just gonna share a few. I just picked some of the latest posts. I think I've created. So um, here they are. So I create this kind of content. So this is one. This is another one. So it's a quote, a visual, a banner. Another one. This is what I call infographics, kind of. 1.0, or this, um, or this one again. This one. This is one I posted a long time ago, so I'm gonna post it again. This one. So I'm just giving you an overview of what my posts are and what I'm using the GPT for specifically. This is a video. So here I just get the transcript, really. That's another one. And so these are some of the posts in addition to carousels, obviously. So yeah, this is to give you an overview. And what I do is I just drag and drop one visual or image at a time in the GPT I created to get um, a post. Okay, so that's what I do. But before getting to that point, I had to write many posts. And what I did is I trained a GPT on my own voice, um, based on a lot of posts I shared. So I gave it, I think, over 100 pieces of content so it can learn from it. So I haven't updated it since, so I just give it about 100, but I might be doing that over time. I'm not saying that the GPT I have is perfect and so on, but I think this can be helpful for those who create content because I had lots of friends asking how to do that or if I do that, and I do. Um, so yeah, and I prefer to do that rather than just going to the generic ChatGPT or Claude or any other LLM and just asking it to create content. Because the reason why I created a GPT is because it's a task that I'm doing every I would say every day or every week when I create my batch content, let's say. So it makes sense to create a GPT or a Claude project or whatever you use if you're gonna be doing this activity repetitively. So more than a few times a week or a few times a day, then for sure it makes sense to create a GPT. And just to clarify one thing, the GPT you create or your custom GPT lives on ChatGPT. If you want to integrate, let's say, your custom GPT, as we call it, into another platform that you have, this will not be a custom GPT. This will be another kind of bot that you will create. Or if you're using OpenAI, which is the company of ChatGPT that created ChatGPT, you will be using an assistant. All right. So the OpenAI assistant, let's say. So this needs some technical knowledge to be able to create and integrate that. But to create a GPT, literally any human being on the planet can do it if you can write. Okay. The only thing is you need a paid account to create your own GPT. So I pay for ChatGPT every month, literally for that. So there are two things I use primarily from ChatGPT is the voice and the GPT. This is why I find it so valuable to pay for it. So now we're gonna get started. I just wanted to make this parenthesis because it's quite important. You can't just take your custom GPT and stick it anywhere, on any platform or website or your um, marketplace or in your community membership or whatever that may be. And you can create a GPT for literally, it's for depending on the field or the space you're in. You can create a GPT for everything. So you can't have one GPT that will do everything. You create several GPTs for multiple things. So, for example, I have another GPT I use um, that scores my posts. So after I've created my post, of course I tweak it manually and so on. I don't take what the GPT I built gives me, and then I put it on this other GPT that is a scorecard to give me to help me kind of enhance the hook or enhance the call to action and so on. So you need multiple GPTs. Now let's get started. I'm gonna share my screen again. So looking that way. Okay. So you go to the GPT or you go to ChatGPT, the ChatGPT web app first, and then you go to the top right, and you click on My GPTs, and then you can click on Create. Okay, so that's a brand new GPT you're gonna create uh, by yourself right now. So we're gonna be doing this together. So there are two ways. So let me take you through the interface first of all. Okay, and this is not for those who know how to create a GPT. It's for you if you want to know how I created a GPT that replicates my file of posting and so on. So on the left hand side, we have two options. So we have the configure section and we have the create um, section here. And on the right, we have the preview. So this is where we can test the GPT we created. So it's always important to test because the whole idea is to keep iterating all the time. All right. So we want to create a LinkedIn post generator. Okay. So here, if it's the first time you're doing that, I suggest you go straight to create mode, and you're gonna have a chat back and forth with um, ChatGPT or the GPT builder that will take you through the creation step by step. So here we go. It's just saying, I'll help you build your new GPT. You can say something like, make a make a creative who helps generate visuals for new products, or make a software engineer who helps format my code. And this can be GPT. So assume you want to create a GPT to teach you English, okay, or to teach your kid English or something, or grammar. You can say, um, you are, so you give it kind of a role. And what's the task? The task is to create a learning plan for X, who's X years old, or who's aiming for, or who has an exam of I don't know what at the end of the month, let's say, and you need to create a learning plan, for let's say the whole month. Okay, and it can be just that. Okay, so this is why, and this is answering the question like, how long does it take me to learn how to create a GPT? Well, it can take you 5 minutes, like say 10 minutes to an hour plus with iteration, so on. So that's the spirit. So here we're gonna create a GPT that will create a voice and so. Okay, so here I'll be feeding it information. So let's get started. What would you like to make? A GPT, an assist, let's say. Um, help me write posts for LinkedIn. Okay, so let's see. We're really, really starting step by step here. Okay, so the first thing it's gonna do is gonna analyze your query. It's gonna give you a name, okay, suggestions, okay, and then the next step it will help you also find the logo for it. So here, what should we name this LinkedIn writing assistant? How about LinkedIn Post Pro? Okay, okay with it. Okay, so the four um, requests kind of here, I don't know how you call them, um, are basically guiding requests, okay, for your GPT. So you can edit those later on, and you can have none, and you can have many of them. Okay, so that's a profile picture. If I like it, I will say yes. If I don't like it, I will say no. I'll assume that I like it. Great. And then I can start having a conversation. We will go through the whole conversation with that GPT to create the GPT. So here it's saying, um, feel free to try it out. So we can try it. We will try it, but at this point in time, we haven't fed it any kind of knowledge. So it's really based on not much because it doesn't even know who I am, right? So at this point, for me, it's pointless to give it a shot. So in the preview here, okay, it doesn't make sense to try because I haven't given it anything. So this is one way of doing it. Okay, so you can say, I want the post short, punchy, and that reflect my brand personality. Okay, now it doesn't know anything about my brand personality because I haven't said anything. So let's see what it says, and then I'm gonna move to the next step. Okay, so it's clearly in a rush. Okay, so here you need to use your kind of common sense to decide that, okay, that's not how I want it. Okay, so you need to feed it information. It's not gonna always be taking through you. Now, another way of doing it, if you really want to go through this process of helping or of getting ChatGPT to help you do it, you can go to the normal, let's say ChatGPT, open a new chat and ask it to create kind of a prompt for you to create your own GPT based on ABC. Okay, this is another way to do it if you need help. So it's okay to open multiple windows and so on. But I'm gonna jump into the configure section because I think, and I think maybe after this session you can play around if it's your first time and just play around with the create, see what you get, and then go to the configure section. But as you can see, it already put in the logo, the name, LinkedIn Post Pro that we can change. And what it does helps craft short, punchy LinkedIn posts reflecting your brand. Okay. And then here are the instructions. Don't forget, sometimes you may tend to forget that you can uh, open up this window and see what it's written. Just so you know, the whole yellow underline is just a plugin I have, so it has nothing to do with a GPT. Okay, um, I use a tool like a Grammarly. This one is called Linguistics, so it's just everywhere on Chrome. So anyway, so this GPT is designed to assist users in writing LinkedIn posts that are short, punchy, and reflective of your user's brand personality. It provides blah blah concise content ideas, headline suggestions, and formatting advice. So here it made an assumption, okay, because we didn't give it enough information. What I'm gonna do is just delete all, and I want to go through it kind of step by step, okay, and I want to have kind of a hierarchy of how I'm gonna get information or provided information to get the best results possible. So I need to organize the information in my head. Okay. So I need to give this GPT an identity. So who are you? Okay. So you are, in my case, I can say you are the avatar of self, Maria. Um, and you have 20 years of experience doing this or that, for example. But you can also say you are a digital marketer with 20 years of experience crafting compelling content for LinkedIn that goes viral. Okay. This is one thing you could tell as well. So to start, this is the identity. Then you need to give it a task. Um, so the task is, okay, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna create images because you can use DALI to create images, or you're gonna write posts? Okay, in this case, it's gonna be writing posts. Okay, from scratch based on information you provide. So in my case, what I do, I drag and drop one of the visuals I showed you before, like what you call cheat sheet or infographics or a quote or whatever. Okay. So basically, based on content I provide you with, you will be drafting posts. Okay. That's the whole idea. And then you give it the process. I'm not saying that this is the perfect way of creating it, but this is for me. Okay. So then I give it the process that you will create one post at a time. So each time I drag and drop, let's say, one image or JPEG or whatever, you will create one post, and you need to follow the formatting I'm giving you. And you're not gonna be using bold, and you're gonna be using short sentences. So you give it, let's say, this is actually not the process. This is mainly best practices, let's say in this case. But your process is you will analyze the content, and then you will um, what I like to do is ask it to draft a post, I say in your head, okay? And then look at what I have, what I use, let's say in the next GPT, the scorecard to look at, okay, what is the structure of a post? It has to have a good hook, a good, let's say, mid section, a good call to action, and so on. So this is what I'm gonna tell it to look at and to draft the post based on that. Okay. And what I wanted to always have also is, let's say, the ending call to action, like follow Maria for more on this, uh, get my infographics, and so on. So this is the idea. Okay. So it depends on how you write your content. You can create your GPT. Okay. So I have a digit. So I have created, if you want, the spill for my GPT that I'm gonna copy and paste here, and it's basically following the structure that I've given you now. Okay. Uh, okay. So I'm gonna literally copy and paste it. So this is the only part where you need to do some thinking and some testing. Okay. So this is here. So you're a digital marketer working, yeah, with 20 years of experience in digital marketing. You specialize in this, and that. Your task, your process. Okay. Use emojis. That's what I'm telling you to do. And then I'm explaining are the hooks and the guidelines. I mean, I can share this, but I think it's better if you do your own based on how you write your own content. But what matters here? Let me go a bit lower. I gave also what I did also is I gave it an about me paragraph, so it knows like who I am, and you can also tell it this is how you're gonna write it, in this tone, whatever. Um, so I've also given it examples, okay, that I'm gonna show you after. So here, so what I was talking, so this part is done, okay. So we could consider that that's it. But I suggest we go one step further. And the reason being is that when we go one step further, it means we give knowledge to the GPT. This means that it will first take a look at the knowledge you've given it. And based on the instructions we've drafted together, it will create your post. Okay. So if you give it knowledge, and the knowledge can be in this specific case to create LinkedIn content, I went back to many of my LinkedIn posts and I selected 100, I think. Yeah, maybe not less for sure, but 100. But I've done this before with like 40. So you don't have to go through 100. Okay. Um, I might revert back to the 40. I don't know. So you just copy and paste them in a document and you just save the document as a PDF and you just put here. So I'm going to upload the file here. So it's GPT files, and this is file I've created. Example one, example two, so on. Yes, you can't see it. I'll show it in case you just let me show you this document, this one. Okay. So here are my posts. I just put example one. That's my latest post from like 2 days ago. Okay, example two, and you just copy and paste. That's all it is. So that's the part that will take you a bit of time. So and get help, just get get someone to do it. If not, you can do it by yourself. It takes about 15. So just copy and paste your posts in document. And if you have your posts on Notion, for example, you can just export them. Okay. So this is one thing to do. This is where you're going to spend. So other than writing the instruction and building your knowledge base, I mean, that's pretty much most of the work. Okay. The rest is testing. So in theory, this should not take more, like building the whole thing, in my opinion, like shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. Then you iterate. Okay. So let me go back to, okay. So here we are. What I've added also in the instructions is the fact that I don't want ChatGPT to use the series of buzzwords it uses all the time, like unlocking and I forgot the words to be honest, but unleashing and all these words that I can't stand. Okay, I just sneezed, so I'm attached. I'm attaching this again here. What you could do, you could also share some cheat sheets and whatever you want. I've done this before. At the moment, I'm not. It was um, just to show the kind of content I'm sharing, but I'm not doing this at the moment. So that's when I first tried doing that, and I think that's it. I don't need to um, actually add. And the other thing I want to add is the scorecard I was before. So just to score, let's say your post. So that's it. Now here, so you've already enhanced the like your GPT with additional knowledge, which is personalized. Okay, and this is key. And this is why I don't see anything wrong using ChatGPT to help you create your content faster. Okay, it's just that you're not starting from a blank sheet of paper. You can spend more time on the visuals if you want to do that. You can spend more time on videos if you want to do that, and so on. So this is key. So I'm gonna personally, I don't need visualization and so on. So I'm gonna um, cancel. But you could keep it. I mean, it's not gonna harm you, and I'm gonna keep the web search canvas. So it's fine. These are other settings. We don't need to worry about this at all for this specific task. So, and that's it. Okay. Um, do I need the conversation starters? Personally, I don't. Okay, but let let's just give it a shot. So let's see. I want a punchy post about my recent achievements. So I didn't give it anything about my personal achievements. So I don't know if it's gonna go look for stuff on the internet, but um, yeah, I don't think I will get anything that makes sense. To be honest. So can you? So these are like standard it gave me. So can I share a quick update about my? Well, it doesn't have any information. It will go on the internet. So let's see. So I want to a punchy post about, let's say, because it's one of the content pillars I use. So so let's test here. We're testing in real time, and that's of value. Okay. So leadership. So okay, already it's taking the format correct. Okay. So it's using emojis because I say do use emojis sometimes. Okay, when it makes sense. It's now I don't know why this is huge. Repost to inspire better leadership in your network. So it's learning from my previous posts. Okay. Follow Maria more. So this is what I've given it to repeat every single time. And you can see it here somewhere where it is. But I've asked it to do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. Here it is. Okay. Always. Okay, it's here. Always do that. Okay. So okay. So here it's asking because I said also like um so that I need to figure out why. So I'm gonna try with something else now. I'm gonna drag and drop another a visual, okay, an info, uh, and see what I see. I posted this one. I'm not sure if I'm take this. Oh no, it's taken it. Okay, so I posted this one last week. So let's see what we get. Okay, so I asked it to have shorter sentences. So I will have to probably go and um, emphasize on this one. But yeah, so let's see if so give me your hook. Okay, because I asked it to look at the hook. So let's see. It can't do everything. So it's not gonna score the post, okay? It's just so if it does, it will do it. It doesn't mean it's great because it was not designed specifically for that. Okay. So don't, these systems are quirky, they're smart, they're cheeky. So you will always have an answer, okay, of some sort. It doesn't mean it's gonna be great. So make sure you don't assume that, yeah, because it's giving you something it's gonna be great. I'm just saying that because this GPT is specifically designed for a specific task. Okay. So I suggest you do another GPT for something else to take this content and put it elsewhere. But don't like assume it's gonna do absolutely everything. Okay. And let's see how this evolves because obviously those systems are in constant evolution time. So here's a new hook. So it's given me one. AI is reshaping everything, but the future it belongs to those who balance tech with timeless human skills. I like it, but I think it's too long. Okay, it's too long. next it would be I wanted like 70 characters. But I think that's okay. And then I can tell it rewrite the whole post with this a hook. It knows what's a hook, okay? Because I explained what a hook is. So don't assume it will everything, okay? So here we go. So we can always go iterate. We can also come back here and say add this and that, and then go back iterate in the configure section. Okay, so now let's assume we liked it. We're gonna create the GPT. So we click on create and we have a few options. Either it's just for myself, so no one can use it. Either it's for anyone with the link, so you can share it with your friends or community, or you can share it on the GPT store. But in this case, you need to actually go to your settings and kind of enable your profile and your builder profile actually to be able to share it on the GPT store. Okay. But that's a detail and that's it. So I'm gonna do it with only me. I don't know if anyone's in the chat because I can't see anything here. But if anyone would like to try it, I'm happy to share the link. But I don't suggest you use it. I think it's better if you put your profile and your own post so it gets your voice and so on. And that's it. I hope it was useful. That's how you can create your own GPT for LinkedIn using your own voice and not being just another, AI kind of um, copy pasted human being in that sense. So here we are. Yeah, 35 minutes. That's cool. I'm gonna stay around for a minute or so because in case anyone's watching this and there are questions, I may be able to see them in the chat. At the moment, I can't. So thank you, everyone. That's it. And I'm gonna